You've likely heard of the Division of Child and Family Services, but you might wonder, what does DCFS actually do? The short answer is, we keep children safe. We do this by investigating concerns of abuse and neglect, and sometimes we need to remove children from their homes for their safety. But that's not the preferred solution. Ideally, we want to help parents learn how to care safely for their children. We want to keep children safely living in their own homes. Prevention also plays an important role in our work. We want to provide services and resources to strengthen families. We work with community partners to reduce poverty, connect people with food and housing, provide medical care, and prioritize education. Why? Because all these things can help reduce the risks of abuse and neglect. An important thing to know about our work, generally speaking, parents or caregivers we meet during an investigation want the best for their children. They accept the help we offer and learn how to help their children thrive.
So what happens when a report of suspected child abuse or neglect is made? Let's walk through the process. First, when we get a report, a trained professional collects information to find out if the situation meets the criteria to open an investigation. Reports that do not meet the criteria to open an investigation are documented in our system as unaccepted, though intake workers still try to help those families by suggesting community resources, like local food banks or family support centers. Reports that do meet the criteria of child abuse or neglect are then reviewed by an intake worker, who determines how much risk there is to a child and how quickly they need to act. These results have different priority levels. Priority 1 means a child might be in immediate danger and a worker needs to see the child within 60 minutes. Priority 2 means there's a risk of harm soon and a worker needs to see the child within 24 hours. Priority 3 means there's a lower risk and a worker needs to see the child within 3 business days. For each priority, an investigation is opened and a report is sent to law enforcement.
It's important to know that DCFS investigations are part of the civil court system, not the criminal court. So DCFS findings don't lead to criminal charges, but a separate police investigation might. To gather information about the case, a Child Protective Services worker will check on the child to make sure they are safe, look at any past involvement the child or family has had with DCFS, talk to the child, parents, and caregivers. These talks with children are audio recorded. Talk to other people who know the child or family, like teachers or doctors. Do a safety and risk assessment. Check on the well-being of the children in the home. Visit the home, which sometimes might be unannounced. The most important question in many child welfare cases is whether and when the child can safely live at home with their parents. So the Child Protective Services worker will conduct a safety and risk assessment to determine if there are any current dangers that could hurt the child, if the child is likely to be harmed in the future, and if there is enough support in place to keep the child safe. After the investigation, we make a finding about whether abuse or neglect happened. If there's a reasonable basis to believe abuse or neglect happened, it doesn't automatically mean DCFS will step in with ongoing services. We'll look at the current safety of the child and the risk of future harm, and we'll work with families to make sure their needs for services and supports are met.
Most parents who are involved with DCFS can keep their children safely at home with the right help. Court intervention becomes necessary when parents are unable or unwilling to work with us to provide a safe environment for their child, the type of abuse is severe or chronic and the risk of future abuse is high, or if a child is in immediate danger. If the court determines a child should be removed from their home, we first try to place them with relatives or close family friends. This is called kinship care and helps reduce trauma for the child. If that's not possible, the child may go to a foster home. In most cases, the goal is to reunite children with their families. The court will often order reunification services to help parents address the safety concerns. At the same time, we create a backup plan in case the child can't safely return home. This is called a concurrent permanency plan and could involve adoption or guardianship.
DCFS is committed to keeping children safe and strengthening families in Utah. A strong family means stronger communities. That's because a safe and healthy foundation at home helps a child build confidence, make positive choices, and form lasting relationships. When people in our community have those kind of attributes, we all benefit. To learn more about the Division of Child and Family Services, visit dcfs.utah.gov.